Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in a game between Remine versus Yumiko here on Twisted Meadows. Remine spawning as the teal Night Elf player on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Yumiko spawning as the orange human player here on the bottom left hand side of the map. And I will say this first of all, I don't know how many games this is, but I do know that this was taken from Zotac Cup, and we'll see what the strategies will be. I may not be able to cast all of the games today. I probably in fact cannot, as the series I believe is going to be rather long with a lot of games. So I might span this over a couple of days for you guys, and we'll see how this goes. Remine currently opening up with an Ancient of War here, and oh, we now see Yumiko pulling over a militia. Nicely done, and delaying an Ancient of War from being produced. Yumiko stopping an Ancient of War, and that is really going to slow things down, meaning that Remine will only be able to start training up will only be able to get up that Demon Hunter or Warden first, and we'll see what the strategy will be. Meanwhile, it is going to be a Mountain King first coming in from Yumiko. Yumiko perhaps knowing that a high-level Mountain King is much more deadly, but a high-level Archmage does allow... Oh, wait, what is this? Cancels the Mountain King and goes for an Archmage. Alright, so he did lose a lot of valuable training time there, as an Ancient of War now being established off over here. Demon Hunter is more than halfway completed, as Yumiko now only a quarter of the way completed with that Archmage, and that may be his downfall. Archmage really needs to level up, and because of that delay, he's not going to have nearly as much time to call militia, call to arms, and deal a lot of damage. Wisp now making his rounds, and that militia really early on scouting out his opponent and being able to cancel that one particular Ancient of War was a huge boost, as we now see a Wisp making its way around. We do know that Remine knows exactly where his opponent is now, as we now see a Wisp down to 8 hit points. It looks like a second Wisp will try to pick up a Troll. Shadow Priest, yes it does, as now the Demon Hunter going after that Footman. Back over here, Archmage, oh, nicely done. An Ancient of Wonders being placed down just in order to stop that, as a Footman now gets in the way of that Archmage. Archmage now finally perhaps pulling away here, and now it looks as though that Archmage is not going to have that many, or is not going to really be able to benefit from doing any serious creeping. So both sides now not creeping whatsoever, as we have the Footman and now trying to deal some harassment damage into the forest line here. Yumiko currently with one Footman may perhaps try to chase after an Archer. The Archer does have a fair amount of hit points, 245, especially with all of those Moonwells nearby, and now we are going into a Tree of Ages. Demon Hunter looking to come in as well. Where is that Archmage? I don't see where the Archmage is on the map. Perhaps over here, that the aura, as the Archmage now gonna be going after the Troll Shadow Priest. The Troll Shadow Priest taking a lot of damage so far, already down to 174, 152. The Archmage, however, does not have Boots of Speed, and now with the Footman in front, it may get a little bit delayed, as now Footman may try to engage against that Demon Hunter as well. We are not teching the tier 2 just quite yet for human, even though Remine is already a quarter or a fifth of the way there. Demon Hunter may be picking up some Boots of Speed, and oh, it looks like the Demon Hunter and the Archmage now battling it out. Staff of Teleportation and Dust of Appearance has been purchased. No Boots of Speed just quite yet, but that Archmage now essentially will be able to teleport all across the map, and now going in for a very fast expansion perhaps. Footmen need to focus down the Ogre Magi and making sure to not give Bloodlust to multiple units. Militia now being called in, and here we go. Ogre Magi looks like it will fall. A Wisp now trying to scout out. The Troll Shadow Priest will scout out this, and it looks like the Ogre Magi able to finish off the Water Elemental. Yumiko needs to get another mana or another Water Elemental off. It does get it in time, as it is now essentially out of mana. Another Troll Shadow Priest able to get off the Abolish Magic and giving experience to that Demon Hunter. A very nice build there. Mana Burn on, and the Talisman of Evasion picked up by Archmage. Archmage now trying to go after the Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter has to be careful though. There are a lot of units on the ground, even though the militia are not in that call to arms form anymore, just peasants now, and a lot of damage could still be had. Footman may fall. Demon Hunter now getting very close to level 2, as well as the Archmage currently sitting at level 1, and it is forced to run away. Demon Hunter going after some footmen. The footmen, looks like a lot of damage will be taken, but some nice micro there as the footmen now try to chase after these units once more. A new round of militia now being called in as archers still battling it out, trying to fight back. Yumiko needs to pull away with that low hit point footman there. Low hit point footman. A lot of damage is being dealt. Is enough damage going to be had as militia now coming in and now backstabbing the footman to deny experience. So a very intensive micro battle going on so far as the militia may be able to pad in front. Is that Demon Hunter going to get off that final hit? It looks like it will, down to 12 hit points, and there it goes. Demon Hunter now just shy of level 2. Meanwhile, level 2 on the Archmage, as he does get Brilliance Aura, now should be able to perhaps get a very, very large caster army, but we are still sitting at tier 1 as Yumiko wants to expand. Meanwhile, Remind sitting at level 1, a nice mana burn comes in once more, denying, and now in comes the Pandaren Brewmaster. Pandaren Brewmaster getting off a Breath of Fire. Archmage in trouble. Archmage now down to 94 hit points. The Demon Hunter does have Boots of Speed. Oh, the Footmen and the Militia now getting in the way of that Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter down to 67 hit points as it tries to run away once more. And what is going to happen? Down over here, you can see that towers are trying to be added. Arcane Vault. Another Breath of Fire should be coming in. There we go. A lot of damage to be had. Where is that Archmage? Archmage is off. No, where is that Archmage? I don't even see the Archmage. Archmage over here at the shop needs to heal back up. There is a Wisp over here, though, so that is going to be a bit of an issue. As now the Pandaren Brewmaster sitting at 112 mana, unable to get any more Breath of Fires off. Arcane Tower about to be completed, as now Remind opting to expand in addition. So this game between Remind and Yumiko, so far a lot of intensive action, as Archmage now down to 82 hit points, 31 hit points, needs to buy a Scroll of Healing. It is currently now going into that Town Hall as well. Scroll of Healing will be purchased. A lot of damage could be healed up, but no, it looks as though some of the damage the healing has already been dissipated. Archmage needs to be very, very careful. Down to 95 hit points. A couple of arrows and a Breath of Fire would take it down really quickly, as it is now still level 1 versus a level 2 hero. We'll see what's going to be happening here as Arcane Feedback now being dealt. A nice Troll Shadow Priest able to get the damage off and then use a Staff of Preservation in order to pull all that Shadow Priest all the way back. But more importantly, it removed the healing on that Archmage. Archmage now looking to do a Staff of Teleportation to get away. Looks as it will be able to do exactly that, as now the Arcane Tower getting some feedback damage as well onto the Pandaren Brewmaster. Pandaren Brewmaster out of mana. Demon Hunter finally at level 2. I'm not quite sure where it gained, as we now have the Tree of Life off over here. Yumiko teleporting to a Footman, able to get to it and get in position. Pandaren Brewmaster out of mana again. Demon Hunter trying to fight back. You can see that the Arcane Vault is being repaired right now, and those 3 peasants keeping that wall alive, as we now have Dryad with slow poison. 1 Footman does go down. Druid of the Claw training now coming in. Demon Hunter still trying to back off, so a lot of intense action here in this battle so far, as the Arcane Tower now taking some damage. More repairing needs to come in, now going after the actual peasants in the mineral line. So far, a lot of damage has been dealt, as Demon Hunter now out of mana, and the Pandaren Brewmaster pretty much out of mana as well. Units need to back off. Where is the Archmage? Archmage now looking to run down and perhaps get in some easy shots, taking down some lower hit point units, but the Archmage is now also in trouble. Quick abolish magic by the Dryads, as Remind feeds some more experience. Archmage needs to back off, unable to really get off any true healing, as the Dryads are looking to deal and fight once again. Staff of Preservation saves, I believe, a low hit point archer. Demon Hunter now being very smart to pull away. It doesn't want to fight within range of the Arcane Tower, and as more and more peasants are falling. So Yumiko is in a bit of trouble, down to 57 hit points. 58 is a Scroll of Town Portal. Yes, it will be used. Where is it? Teleporting back over here where the Arcane Vault is. There we go. It needs to buy a Scroll of Healing, and it is up. A guard tower is up. Demon Hunter now trying to push their way in, but there are a lot of towers being built. This one guard tower is now constantly being repaired. It may be able to upgrade again. Still, the Demon Hunter's having a bit of problems, as now Footman with Defend, and finally a Staff of Preservation on the Demon Hunter to reset this attack. But we are already at tier 3. Druid of the Claw No, almost at tier 3. Druid of the Claw getting a rejuvenation back on that Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter, double clarity, clarity potions should be able to get a lot of mana really quickly. Remind now creeping out with an Ancient of War. That is going to be huge as a Tree of Life now being rebuilt off to the north. Expansions are not only in the human category. It looks like Yumiko has his expansion up and it is operational, but we are still sitting at Town Hall. And Yumiko, unless he gets those towers and does a very strong tower push, towers cannot win this game. Clarity potions being left behind. It looks like the Pandaren Brewmaster deciding to pick them up and getting to level 2 with a Sobi mask. That is going to be a very, very, very dangerous Pandaren Brewmaster, especially with that much mana and higher regeneration. So far, Scout Towers and Guard Towers are being completed. Level 1 Masonry upgrade has been completed, so there is additional armor on these buildings, making it a little bit more difficult for them to be taken out. Demon Hunter sitting at level 3, still using that Staff of Preservation to save a lot of units. Still, Rock Golem may give the Archmage here level 3, especially if a Tome of Experience is dropped. It looks as though, yes, Belt of Giant Strength, a very nice item if you have really, really squishy heroes, or perhaps you can give it even to a Mountain King, as we are now going into some Zeppelin play. Goblin Zeppelin also has a Goblin Shredder. A Shredder is essentially a knight in all intents and purposes, a 4-food unit. You can also see a Footman now trying to take down this Tree of Life. The Tree of Life down to 700 hit points. It will perhaps just stay around there for a little while. Now looking to transition into a Blacksmith and perhaps Mortar Teams or Riflemen. A drop should be coming in momentarily. Remind is pretty much nothing at home. The Tree of Life still at 700 hit points as the Bears getting focused down pretty easily. Dryads and Archers now dealing a lot of damage to this farm. The one Scout farm may get taken out. We should get another Breath of Fire hitting many of those towers as well. And now Remind can just simply wait and repeat on this. Taking a look at where is this all going to go. Archmage looking to perhaps buy some additional items here, as the Tree of Life so far has taken a lot of damage. It could turn around and take off that Footman. Not quite sure why it's not doing exactly that, as a Staff of Teleportation brings back an Archmage. Archmage now pulling away, and what was that? It looked as though that was another Staff of Preservation to save. A Breath of Fire taking down multiple towers. And still more Staff of Preservation coming in, even with a Potion of Invulnerability. Footman and Goblin Shredder now attempting to take down this Tree of Life. This Tree of Life will fall very, very easily, especially with no army to really defend against it. Three Guard Towers, 1 Arcane Tower, more than enough to push all of these units back, as a low hit point Peon caught on the wrong side of this siege line. More militia now being called in once more. More Abolish Magic, and Yumiko is just feeding experience now to the 3-3 hero combination. A Potion of Invulnerability being transferred to the Demon Hunter in the middle of a battle. A very dangerous fight indeed, as we can see that more Guard Towers will get destroyed. Staff of Preservation saving, and now Pandaren Brewmaster coming back in. Will the Pandaren Brewmaster be able to get enough damage here, as more arcane feedback? Druid of the Claw, a lot of units falling to towers. This is no good. A nice Staff of Preservation once more saving it, and we also have a Potion of Invulnerability being used by the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is in a very nice situation here. Another Abolish Magic, and it looked like Yumiko has not really had the answer to deal with so many Dryads and Abolish Magic. Now Remind sitting in a very, very nice lead, as Yumiko losing that level 1 hero. But taking a look at the Entangled Goldmine, the Entangled Goldmine taking a lot of damage. Some Wisp were taken out as well. No Wisp were taken out. And the Goblin Zeppelin, both sides trying to fight, perhaps trying to take down the Goblin Shredder, dealing a lot of damage. The Goblin Shredder now down to 297 hit points. It is a mechanical unit, can get repaired, and a bunch of low hit point Footmen being forced to pull back. Demon Hunter looking to engage, trying to take down these towers. Demon Hunter taking a lot of damage, and now a roar coming in on the Druid of the Claw, but too much repairing, especially with that level 5 armor, or rank 5 armor here, preventing much of the damage from those bears. Now, Staff of Teleportation comes back. Pandaren Brewmaster, really that Sobi Mask plus those Clarity Potions have been having a really, really strong effect. There is another Breath of Fire. So much damage dealt across so many of these peasants. The peasants need to regenerate those hit points if possible. Meanwhile, the Goblin Zeppelin here, not very many hit points. Not quite sure what can be done as the Archmage now being resurrected. Pandaren Brewmaster at level 4. Still with a Clarity Potion, simply lying in wait. There's the Anti-Magic Shell. Another bit of damage being dealt, but the Clarity Potion was stopped. And now Druids of the Claw in here. Another Breath of Fire is going to take down a lot of towers and even one of the farms as well. Now taking a look, Pandaren Brewmaster being forced to retreat again. Ancient of Wonders. What happened to the Ancient of Wonders? Ancient of Wonders perhaps was taken out. I don't see. Is it walking away? I don't see where it went. So perhaps the Ancient of Wonders was destroyed, but that Ancient of Wonders has really been dealing a lot of damage. Yumiko gonna lose his blacksmith. And now that we also have another water elemental joining back in on the fight, but Rejuvenation, Druids of the Claw, just causing so many problems as we now are finally going into a Mountain King. Yumiko, perhaps if he didn't cancel his earlier hero, may have had enough time to actually get to level 2 early on. Footman now low on hit points as the peasants forced once more to try and repair this Entangled Gold Mine. The Entangled Gold Mine doesn't cost any gold though to repair, so nicely done there as the Archmage still tries to battle it out further. More feedback onto that Shadow Priest. The Shadow Priest now low on hit points. Yumiko now picking up that low hit point Goblin Shredder. It needs to be repaired, but another Breath of Fire coming in, and now the Zeppelin is low on hit points. The Zeppelin low on hit points. A second Breath of Fire should be able to come in, but no, not enough. And now trying to pick up Staff of Preservation, saving a bear. Yumiko dropping the Goblin Shredder, trying to keep it alive, getting in the final hit as we still have level 2. Yumiko gonna lose the Shredder now. The Shredder goes down as the Mountain King, perhaps if it comes in and gets off some key Stormbolts and traps the Pandaren Brewmaster at the wrong time for the cooldowns on the Staff of Preservation, that may be the downfall. But that is a lot of things that have to go right for Yumiko as the Oh, there's the Stormbolt. As I said it, the Stormbolt misses the target as the Staff of Preservation keeps the Pandaren Brewmaster alive, and now it will just simply teleport back once more after a rejuvenation. Rejuvenating Pandaren Brewmaster, Demon Hunter sitting at 400 hit points. That is looking very, very good. More and more experience just being fed into the Pandaren Brewmaster as it is now sitting at level 5. The Mountain King did get off a Stormbolt there, but the Pandaren Brewmaster able to pull away level 3 Breath of Fire. Now, as a Druid of the Claw sitting at 41 hit points, needs to hide and perhaps rejuvenate at some other time. A lot of damage and a lot of battling going on at this base. The Mountain King will not be able to get off a Stormbolt. Archmage now pulling in, gets off, has some Scrolls of Healing, needs to use that Scroll of Healing to keep the units alive. Doesn't use it in time for the Water Elemental. Still, Breath of Fire comes back in, dealing more damage. Yumiko is not looking to be in a good situation at all. No way to really heal. Archmage is in trouble as this shop, this Ancient of Wonders, providing so many wonderful items for the Pandaren Brewmaster and the Demon Hunter. The Clarity Potions and the constant Breath of Fires. That AoE is very, very widespread as it looks like it will be a calculated retreat. The Town Hall down to 12 hit points. It looks like it will get taken out as units now return back home. Now the peasants could repair that Goblin Shredder. That's probably exactly what needs to be done. Meanwhile, a new Tree of Life being reestablished on the north. Bears and Dryads finishing off the economic advantage that Yumiko has had this entire game, but he hasn't really been able to translate it into anything at all. Rejuvenate or perhaps some arcane feedback damage should be dealt to the bears as opposed to the Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter will still be able to get off some easy mana burns there as Yumiko is in trouble. The Goblin Shredder has been fully repaired, and now it looks as though peasants, in addition to an Archmage and a Mountain King on the move. The Goblin Zeppelin, not repaired, just a new one was purchased. Scout towers are being placed down. There is still, it looks as though, 5 more minutes or perhaps 7 more minutes of gold left in the gold mine? Or is it actually that the case? No, it's actually only a minute and a half of gold left in the gold mine, so things are really not looking good. Yumiko needs to perhaps stop this expansion from coming in and get very, very lucky with some storm bolts in order to take down all of the army of Remine. Remine sitting at an impressive 50 over 50. Yumiko sitting at 29 over 42. Level 2 masonry upgrades does give an additional point of armor and an additional 100 or an additional 50 hit points to these towers, but is it going to be enough, especially with that Altar of Kings now down? Archmage units both sides. There was a silence being cast. Where was silence being used? Does the Mountain King perhaps have it? I can't quite tell because I can't click on the Mountain King. Where is it? I don't. Oh, Mountain King there. Yeah, Staff of Silence was picked up. A little bit too little too late, though, as there is the GG. So Remind taking a very easy game 1 in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.